The world has become far too loud. We often mistakenly believe that the one who speaks the loudest is the one who holds the most power. But history and wisdom prove the exact opposite. True strength does not scream for attention. It waits patiently in the depths of the quietest moments. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate arsenal of the great. It is where the most profound strategies and insights are born. Welcome to the Art of Silence. Today, we will explore the 6 hidden powers that define a true leader in a world that never stops talking. In every room, there is a person who speaks the least but commands the most respect. This is not by accident, but by a mastery of self. When you master the quiet, you master the environment. You become the observer, the strategist, and the calm center of the storm surrounding every high-stakes decision. Let us dive into the first strength, the power of observation. A true leader sees what others miss because they are too busy listening to themselves. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once reminded us that everything we hear is but an opinion, not the objective truth of the situation we face. Like the eagle, the leader does not screech to announce its presence. It watches from the heights, analyzing every movement before taking any decisive action. Those who talk excessively often miss the smallest details. They are so busy projecting their own thoughts that they fail to perceive the reality before them. True leaders use silence to observe body language, the hidden gaps in spoken words, and the raw truth hidden behind polite, diplomatic smiles and handshakes. When you remain silent, you maintain control over the flow of information. You force others to fill the void, often revealing more than they ever intended. This is the sequence of power. Observe carefully, understand deeply, and then act with absolute precision. Silence is the foundation of this superior strategic cycle. Practice this in your next meeting. Be the very last person to speak. Listen to every perspective, gather all the data, and then offer your conclusion. By the time you open your mouth, you will have the most informed perspective in the room. Your words will carry the weight of total understanding. Sovereignty over one's own speech is the first step towards sovereignty over others. If you cannot control your tongue, you cannot control your destiny. The second power is emotional mastery during the storm. In times of crisis, everyone looks to the person who remains the most silent and calm. Seneca once taught that the greatest power is the power to conquer oneself. When the world is in chaos, silence is your inner sanctuary. Before the heat of combat, the warrior finds strength in the breath. They do not let fear or anger dictate their first move on the field. A true leader does not react impulsively to bad news. They pause. They breathe. They allow silence to dissolve the initial surge of panic or rage. Silence provides the necessary gap between a stimulus and your response. In that gap lies your growth, your character, and your ultimate freedom as a leader. If you act on instinct alone, you are a slave to your biology. If you use silence to reflect, you are the master of your soul. Your composure in the face of adversity confuses your enemies and inspires your allies. It signals that you are in total control of the situation. Take a moment to affirm your strength. Comment, "I am the master of my emotions," below to commit to this path of Stoic leadership today. When the mind is like a still lake, it reflects reality clearly. When it is agitated by emotion, it distorts everything it tries to see. The third power is the weight of sparse words. Like a blade being forged, your speech should be tempered and sharpened until it is lethal. Epictetus taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we may listen twice as much as we speak in life. They understood that words are like currency. If you flood the market with too many, the value of every individual word begins to rapidly inflate. A true leader only speaks when their words are more beautiful and more impactful than the silence they are about to break. Every sentence matters. When you speak less, every word you utter carries the weight of a mountain. People listen more intently because they know your words are rare. Do not feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. Let your actions and your final results speak louder than any boastful promise ever could. Impact is not measured by volume, but by resonance. A whisper, in the right moment, can change the course of history more than a shout. Guard your words like a king guards his treasure. Give them only to those who have earned them and to situations that truly require them. The fourth power is mystery as authority. Silence creates a veil that makes you unpredictable. And in leadership, unpredictability is a potent form of power. Sun Tzu advised that your plans should be as dark and impenetrable as the night, and your actions as sudden as a lightning strike. When you reveal everything, you become vulnerable. When you remain silent, others cannot find your weaknesses or predict your next strategic move in the game. Do not lay all your cards on the table. The most effective leaders keep their best moves hidden until the moment they are ready to win. Silence forces others to wonder about your intentions. It builds an aura of mystery that naturally commands the room without you having to say anything. People cannot manipulate what they do not understand. By maintaining a quiet mystery, you remain the only person truly in charge of your own narrative. Let them guess. Let them speculate. While they are busy trying to figure you out, you are already 5 steps ahead of their every move. The fifth power is strategic listening. This is not just hearing. It is the art of gathering intelligence while others are busy talking to you. Listening is the very root of all wisdom. When you are silent, you are absorbing the world, learning the secrets that others are desperate to share. A great leader does not listen to wait for their turn to speak. They listen to understand the hidden motives and fears of those around them. If you listen long enough, people will eventually tell you exactly how to lead them. They will reveal their weaknesses, their desires, and their secrets. Strategic listening allows you to gather data while simultaneously building immense trust. People feel valued when they are heard, and they will follow you for it. You do not need to speak to be present. Your silent attention is often the most powerful form of validation you can give to another human being. Be the vessel that receives, and you will become the source that leads. Strategic listening is the hidden weapon of every truly effective negotiator and leader. The sixth and final power is inner freedom. This is the ability to stand alone in your own silence, completely independent of the world's noise. Rumi said that silence is the language of God, and everything else is just a poor translation. Silence is where you find your true self. A leader who can be alone with their thoughts is a leader who cannot be broken. They do not need constant external validation to know their worth. When you master the silence within, you become immune to both empty criticism and hollow praise. Your internal compass is the only thing that matters. This is absolute spiritual freedom. It is the realization that your power comes from within, not from the approval or the voices of the masses. Comment, "I win alone," if you are ready to stop seeking permission and start claiming your own destiny through the incredible power of your own silence. There is a profound peace in knowing you are enough. Silence is the mirror that reflects your true strength back to you without any distortion. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of power. It is the quiet before the victory and the calm during the battle. These 6 powers are not for everyone. They are reserved for those who are brave enough to be different and disciplined enough to be quiet. Apply these principles starting today. Watch how the world reacts when you stop chasing and start observing, when you stop shouting and start leading. Remember, observation, emotional mastery, sparse words, mystery, strategic listening, and inner freedom. These are the tools of the true, modern Stoic leader. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single, silent step. Do not talk about your plans. Show the world your results instead. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the silent path. Subscribe to continue your training in the ancient arts of Stoic wisdom and leadership. Be silent. Be strong. Be the leader you were born to be. We will see you at the very top of your own personal mountain. Like the river, your quiet persistence will eventually overcome any obstacle in your path. Silence is the long game that always wins in the end. One small light is enough to banish the dark. One silent leader is enough to change the entire culture of a company or a nation. Find your true north in the quiet. When the noise of the world fades away, your inner voice becomes the only guide you will ever need. Wisdom is often written in books, but it is always integrated in silence. Spend time in the company of the greats by sitting quietly with them. The greatest ideas often come in the moments when we aren't trying to force them. Allow the silence to breathe life into your next great innovation. Time is your most precious asset. Do not waste it on trivial conversations that lead nowhere. Invest it in the silence that builds your future. Peak performance requires a quiet mind. To be the best, you must learn to silence the inner critic that tells you what you cannot do. Your power is built in the dark, in the quiet, and in the hours of practice that no one ever sees. The stage is only for results. Let the world rain down its chaos. You are the mountain. You are the storm. You are the silence that outlasts every single passing cloud. Silence is the key that unlocks the door to your highest potential. Once you have used it, you will never want to go back to noise. Take a look at yourself. The leader you want to become is already there, waiting for the noise to stop so they can finally speak. The world will always be loud, but your life can be a masterpiece of quiet strength. Choose the path of the silent leader today and forever. Your journey to mastery starts with one quiet decision. Subscribe now to join a community of individuals dedicated to the art of powerful, Stoic living. The path is open. The silence is yours. Go forth.